الذي لا しんでおくれ、せがれ。そんなにやるものだな、フクロウのせがれよ。腕を上げたね、狼。私のためそなたは戦ってくれた。捨ておくことなどできるものか。狼よ、我が血と共に生きてくれ。
武士あいにくと。
狼殿、かつて足その時は
そうか。
我が師道元の悔いでは。
In this Sekiro Shadows Die Twice guide, we'll be taking a closer look at skill 10 for Witcher. Saying the shinobi taking to him in the dilapidated place points there. This skill tree contains the single most important skill in the game, in Makiri Counter. Makiri Counter. Many mini-bosses and bosses feature thrust attacks that can be extremely hard to dodge or deflect, and this skill allows you to not only prevent damage, but also deal substantial posture damage from simply pressing one button. Some late game bosses that would otherwise be extremely difficult are made much easier because of this skill, so you will absolutely want to have it. Makiri Counter should be the very first skill you take. Suppress Presence. Immediately after taking Makiri Counter, you'll have the ability to obtain Suppress Presence when you have enough skill points. This skill is extremely beneficial in allowing for more successful stealth death blows without detection, and you'll want to consider taking this one early on. I wouldn't recommend taking it immediately after Makiri, but it shouldn't be that long after until you do. Suppress Sound. Much like Suppress Presence, this skill helps with preventing enemies from hearing you when you perform stealth death blows or are sneaking up on a target. Also, like Suppress Presence, it's not one you will need immediately, but you will want to take this one earlier on in the game to make best use of it. Shinobi Eyes. This latent skill increases the posture damage you deal with Makiri Counter, making it a must-have, eventually. It costs 3 points, and you must spend an additional point on Run and Slide, since you cannot acquire this skill without taking it. This likely means you won't have it as early on as you'd like, but look to get it when you're about halfway through the game. Breath of Life Light. This latent skill will allow you to regain vitality upon performing any death blow. Since you kill the vast majority of enemies this way, it could really help to keep your vitality topped off as you make your way around the game, saving valuable healing gourds for mini-boss and boss encounters. The downside is that it costs 5 skill points, and you'll have to spend another 3 just to get it inside this tree. Much like Shinobi Eyes, this means you will likely get it much later than you prefer. Just be sure you get it eventually. You will likely acquire the prosthetic esoteric text from the sculptor after obtaining the prosthetic tools from the Harada estate. These skills will allow you to use your prosthetics to greater effect, but the best skills in this tree have almost no relation to your prosthetic tools. Grappling Hook Attack. This shinobi martial arts skill will allow you to attack during your grapple animation when grappling to certain mini-bosses and bosses. It is particularly useful against the Chained Ogre, Go Oniwa, and the Demon of Hatred. This means you'll want to take it just after Mikiri counter in order to be able to use it for 2 of these fights. Chasing Slice. This shinobi martial arts skill will allow you to follow up a shuriken throw with an immediate attack that has longer range than a spinning slice. This works particularly well after jumping away from something like a grab attack, where you are out of range of attacking but the enemy is vulnerable. This is another one you want to take early on since it only costs 1 point and has a lot of versatility. Emma's Medicine Potency and Aroma. These latent skills passively increase the healing effectiveness of all healing items, including pellets. This makes them extremely valuable, and you will want to ensure that you have both of them by the end of the game. The sooner the better. The Ashina esoteric text can be obtained by speaking to the Tengu of Ashina, just up the stairs from where you fought Gyoboniwa in Ashina outskirts. Defeat the nearby rats, and then return to him to learn the Ashina arts. Ascending and Descending Carp. These 2 latent skills allow you to deal more posture damage to the enemies you face, and as you might well be aware, this is extremely important. Besides attack power, which increases your posture damage and your vitality damage, these 2 latent skills are one of the only ways to increase your posture damage. This makes them invaluable and must-haves for anyone. You will acquire the Sempo esoteric text from a shrine through the cave near the main idol in the Sempo Temple, Mount Congo area. This is a decent ways into the game, so it will be a while before you get them. It isn't the most useful skill tree, but you'll want to get it eventually. Sempo Leaping Kicks. This combat art is amazing at punishing the perilous sweep attacks of enemies, dealing substantially more posture damage than just jumping onto them. This is its primary use, making fights with the Lone Shadow mini-bosses, Genichiro Ashina, Orin of the Water, and even the last boss fight against Ishin the Sword Saint a bit easier. I highly recommend checking out this one, particularly if you don't tend to use combat arts all that often. There are a number of skills you gain in Sekiro from defeating mini-bosses or bosses, but many of these you acquire simply from progressing the game, so there isn't much point going into them. However, there is one that is exceptionally good, and is very much missable. That is Breath of Life Shadow. Breath of Life Shadow. This skill works very much the same way Breath of Life Light works, giving you vitality when you perform a death blow of any type. For this reason, you definitely want to face Orin of the Water, and obtain it as soon as you get to her. Keeping your vitality topped off saves gourds. These are not the only good skills in Sekiro, but they are the best of the best. Those wishing to dive deeper will explore the combat arts and really figure out how to use each in the best way possible, and where each shines. However, your typical player will not be getting into this on their first or second playthrough, and this guide is designed for those having issues with the game. I will be exploring all combat arts in a later guide, which will be more advanced in nature. 32 skill points are what you need for these skills specifically, but you'll need a total of 43 skill points in order to be able to acquire all of them. This is because a few of them have 1 or 2 skills as requisites, and you cannot get them without gaining these skills.
You come across, an alternate passive man named Hanbei offers to be your training partner. I know, a training mode in a From Software game sounds like heresy, but even if you're a big Souls fan, you're going to need help unlearning all the mechanics of previous titles and learning how to aggressively deflect attacks, and Hanbei can help you there. Once you fight your first mini-boss, he'll also let you practice dodging unblockable attacks, which is extremely useful to get used to avoiding. As you continue to explore the first few areas of the game, you may find that some imposing merchant you can find is actually camped out. Look for a high peak. and grapple up on the left side to find a way up to the plateau where the merchant is. It might surprise you that he sells coin purses for a little more than they're worth. This is because you can effectively buy them to bank your own money. In case you start dying to a boss several times, you won't lose any money contained in the purses. Be sure to also buy the firecrackers he sells, as they can be used to make a prosthetic tool that's very useful. If you run too fast down the large sloping area past the first samurai general in the Ashina outskirts, you might just miss an old woman standing in a broken house. She'll give you the bell charm, but what does that even mean? If you take it back to the Buddha statue at the temple, you can use it to relive a forgotten memory of the Hirata estate, which gives you access to a new area to explore and many more secrets to find. As it turns out, the previously mentioned Hirata estate has the tool you seek. Look for a side path when finding an alternate route when you reach the locked door at the start of the estate. You'll find a bonfire raging by some houses. While in the Hirata estate, you may notice that the river here has a few giant red fish. These are treasure carp, and killing them nets you a treasure carp scale. But what can you do with them? If you check up by the right at the first bridge along the main river, you can find a strange pot on an island inhabited by a creepy merchant who wants scales in exchange for rare items. So be sure to trade in and get some great gear. Okay, so this one goes out to all the pros who already think the game is too easy. Did you know there's a way to make the game harder? After you defeat the chained ogre in the Ashina outskirts, head to the next courtyard where a samurai general and his men are, and hang a right to find a small shrine on a cliff with a spooky note. You can grapple along the rocks behind the shrine to find a cave. At the bottom of this cave is a headless spirit mini-boss that can't even be damaged by normal means, and he slows your movement too. You're going to want to dodge past him and look for a small tunnel behind him leading to a secret door you can hug to enter the Bell Demon's temple. Up here you'll find a mysterious bell with a note that implores you not to ring it. Ring it anyway, and you'll gain the Bell Demon item, which makes all enemies tougher but increases the rewards you get for killing them. If things get too tough to handle, simply use the Bell Demon to make it go away. That's just a handful of things.
それ力ばまいまだまださらにまだまださすがだなそこもと だ